I don't know how the word got around. Like girls would show up, like not even
Cameras
5 minutes
everywhere.
of us being there with Jonas Brothers T-shirts on. We were like, this is nuts.
But you guys are huge fans of Toronto.
Absolutely.
We shot a movie in Canada called Camp Rock that's going to be on the Family Channel there, and it's going to be on Disney Channel here. And it's a movie about a young girl who's always wanted to go to this music camp, and she gets a chance to go. And there, we are a band called Connect 3, and they send me back to the camp because my character kind of becomes a jerk through the music business and has to get back to his roots. So they send me back to Camp Rock, and you know, there's a love connection there, and these guys are hilarious in the movie, and they're funny characters, and so it's really cool. And we spent so much time in Toronto. We stayed the 4 seasons, and we like we know that place by the back of our hand now. Like we know the front.
Shopping was amazing. We had so much fun.
Right on. Okay, so now you got the movie coming out, you got the reality show, but you also have a scripted show as well.
It's a lot. Starting in September, we start production for Jonas, which stands for Junior Operatives Networking as Spies.
Okay.
And it's a show about we're undercover spies, and our cover is that we're a band.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be really cool.
So it's like James Bond.
Yes.
Yeah.
James Bond. It's kind of like James Bond with a funny side.
Nice. Okay. So like, with all the stuff that you're doing, do you ever fear that you're kind of going to be overexposed, or you're just kind of trying to tackle all of your goals and just soak it in?
I think we were trying to go, and do as much as we possibly can. And I think our fans really, I don't know what it is about our fan base and how amazing they are, but they love to come to multiple shows. Like you can see a band and be like, oh, okay, great, I saw my favorite band, that was it. They keep coming back, and they'll travel, and people like rent out Winnebagos and travel across the country with us, So like we have a tail behind all our buses.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's phenomenal, and we are just so honored by our fan base and everyone that is listening to the music. We just can't believe the kind of reaction we're getting, and we just absolutely thank you so much. We love you guys, everyone.
Did you always have the TV and the film dream as well as the music dream?
Definitely. Acting is kind of where we started. I was doing Broadway. Joe was doing some Broadway. Kevin was doing commercials and all that. And it was cool that we're able now to take the music and put it in the show where we're acting as well. Kind of the synergy's nice, and it's definitely going to be a part, I think, of who we are.
Okay. Now, a lot of people have the whole when I'm rich one day, I'm gonna buy a huge house and 5 cars. Is there any dreams that you guys have achieved, or have you've attained them, or anything still
One thing that we hope to one day do is we totally want to buy a huge place in Halliburton.
Yeah.
Because we spent so much time there. We loved it so much. We're always we're going back and we're gonna buy a huge place right on the water. I think
play golf every day.
Play golf. There's always dreams of ours. I've always wanted a motorcycle with a sidecar.
Oh yeah.
That would be awesome.
That would be very
I'd probably
cool.
drive it all the way across the country, maybe.
We took a helicopter last night to our show. That was really amazing. We were based out of New York City, and we had to go down to South Jersey, which is about a 3.5 hour car ride. And it was a 30-minute helicopter ride. So we had to fly over New York City in a helicopter. And it was so awesome. It was such an amazing thing.
We found out last night is that you can fly whenever you want. You can just call in, hey, I want to take my helicopter out, and they're like, okay, cool. And 24 hours a night, a day. They don't even
just give them a call.
You just go.
They're like, okay, whatever the flight number,
and
the
he
flight.
flew right over Times Square. No problems. You're allowed to do that. We're like, you can just do that.
It's
So
crazy.
it's complete access to anything.
Yeah, so we're like, maybe that'd be a cool helicopter.
Helicopters.
Right on.
You didn't like it too much, did you? It freaked me out on the way there because the wind was blowing like crazy, but on the way back it was a smooth ride, so that was good.
Okay, well, what was it like being on tour with Miley Cyrus?
The Hannah Montana Best of Both Worlds tour was amazing. We had a great time, of course. We got to play so many amazing arenas, but being able to go back on our own tour and play some of those same arenas in different kind of venues and be on our own tour was just unbelievable as well. And of course to be part of the 3D movie that released all across the the world, and that was really exciting.
Let's talk about stadiums. You guys grew up just a few miles from here, and you came to the stadium to do hockey games and concerts. What's it like headlining a tour that's packing the stadium?
To play here at this venue is and to finish it, where this is our last show of the tour, is so cool for us because we saw so many hockey games. We saw the circus here. We saw 5 concerts,
basketball games.
and we're always sitting in the stands one day. we're playing it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and then we're like, no way,
Yeah.
that's not gonna
When we
happen.
saw-
And today, like our manager was telling us how they're trying to open more seats, and and we're
And
like,
the cool part was, when we first heard that they wanted us to play here, we're like, are we gonna be able to sell that out?
like that's crazy.
and then
no
we
way.
found out that within 2 minutes it sold out. So that was also really cool.
So
Freak us
crazy.
out still. It's awesome. And I think it'll be probably an emotional, exciting night for us tonight. It's
Yeah.
good.
And
And we
it'll
just,
be it is the last night of the tour, so there will be
live
pranks
tonight.
played. There will be
Oh, yes.
craziness happening.
we're gonna get our opening bands pretty bad.
I don't even know what's gonna go on.
They got us last night. Our Rooney, they pranked us yesterday, and Easter's like around the corner, so they all dressed up in bunny costumes
And hopped around
and
our stage
around
during
our
the song.
stage during a song. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But ours is so much better. You'll see. It's
You
gonna be-
can't reveal it.
Yeah, we
yet.
don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the crowd response like in hometown as opposed to like everywhere else?
It can go one of two ways. It can either be really crazy, or sometimes they can get a little, used to us, kind of. And when we played in the market, this is where we played the East Coast for a really long time, when not too many people cared, but we play like a show every week in New Jersey, so they kind of got used to us. But I think tonight's gonna be crazy. We went around to our old hometown with the bus today. We've always talked about one day we're gonna roll in with our tour buses and go to our favorite ice cream spot, and we did that today, and it was crazy. There was all of a sudden there was like these two girls who ran up, called their friends, and then they called four girls, and
It was
nuts.
hundreds of girls out of nowhere just started pouring in. It was
And we were just going for some ice cream.
It was like, I don't know how the word got around. Like, girls would show up, like, not even
Cameras
5 minutes of
everywhere.
us being there with Jonas Brothers t-shirts on. We were like,
serious.
this is nuts.
It was,
So-
yeah. In both places we went, in 2 different towns, it was crazy. But it was so much fun, and I think we really owe all of anything we have to our fans. Without them, we would be nowhere, and we couldn't do it without them.
Do you find it hard to go incognito sometimes when you just?
We're starting to see that more and more. I think that it's kind of getting a little more difficult, but it's still all so new to us, and
Yeah.
it's still really, kind of fun when we get noticed.
Yeah, it's probably still pretty tough with the tour bus completely spray painted.
Well, it was funny because when we went to Canada, we went to Toronto, like the first time we went, not many people knew who we were there. And there was like one person that noticed us. And we were like, whoa, cool. It was so funny because we just got off a tour here in the US and then went over there. But it's been really cool.
Now, you guys get compared a lot to other bands such as Hanson or even the Backstreet Boys. And do you guys feel it's a fair comparison?
To have an inch of the success that they had would be phenomenal. We're a band, we write our songs, we write our music, we are in the studio making it all happen. And so, they're amazing musicians and amazing, artists. And so, we strive to be, as successful, or, we hope to have such, long careers as them. So it's an honor to be compared to them, for sure.
What do you find is one of the biggest misconceptions about the band?
I think people kind of think sometimes that we're sort of like a manufactured thing.
Kind of
but,
like dancing kind of got
but,
banned,
but we do write all our own songs. We play all our own instruments. We're there on the songs that are,
a lot of people have a different feel when they see us live too, because we like to rock out and go crazy on stage compared to like, either playing just softly or dancing or something. That might be one misconception.
All right, now your album here. I was impressed when I checked this thing out. Not only is the plastic, but also the case is all 100% recycled.
Yeah, we wanted to do something
No
cool.
liner notes. It's
It's all on the disc. We wanted, because our
Everything's in
generation is so on the internet and
Yeah.
so computer, like everything is on the internet and everything is there. We wanted to open that up to another generation.
Because we know people just take a CD, they put it onto their computer and then
Put it in and
You
then-
maybe keep the CD for like a week, but
Yeah.
you're gonna usually after a while you throw it out, and this way it's actually recyclable.
So yeah, we wanted to make it be able to be recycled.
I mean, the CD itself isn't recyclable, but the
casing,
but the casing
yeah,
and all of that. So we know that like our generation, it's really important to watch out for the planet we live on. So
Do you find a lot of bands, talk the talk but don't really walk the walk when it comes to the global warming and the environment?
I think we haven't seen that ourselves, but
I think we're just
for
trying
us,
to be a
we
band
try to
that
be a
does.
that can represent that and stand up for it.